Hey, what is up, mortals? It is Taro in here with a new video for you. Welcome to Season 1, Part 5 of What If Deku Was an Osmosian. I just wanted to greet you guys by saying, sit back and relax. You're in for a treat. So, we begin. The next day, as Izuku came to the UA entrance, he saw a commotion taking place. A giant crowd of reporters was gathered. All of them looked hungry for something. The green teen had an idea of what it was. As the concerned teen approached the area, he was beset upon by the ravenous press. Each and every one wanted a quote about All Might. It was to be expected that the press would want to know about the #1 hero in his new role. Still, they didn't have to act like a bunch of starving piranhas. Young man, how is All Might doing as a new teacher? Do you have any thoughts? Izuku froze in place. He was overcome by the ferocity of the news hound. Many of his classmates hammed it up for the cameras. Ida spoke in an official tone while chopping his hands in a robotic fashion. Kaminari tried to act cool, but did not succeed in Izuku's opinion. Still, many others did not care for the sudden attention. They did their best to just get past the glaring eyes of the lens. Aizawa came upon the scene with an annoyed expression. The grumpy man hated the media. They always got in the way. He did not understand how All Might stood them. Leave my students alone. The reporters turned to see the eyes of the dark-haired educator staring them down with a red glow. They were all very freaked out. All Might is not on campus today. Go bother someone else. Please, sir, can we just get one quote? Absolutely not. Give you people an inch and you will take a mile. Aizawa turned to his students. Come on, class. We have serious matters to attend to. The tall man led his class through the gate and into the main building. A brave female reporter tried to enter the front gate, but was stopped when a large wall of steel plates shot out of the ground. It dang near missed slicing the reporter's nose off. The emotional woman was not pleased. Class 1A gathered in their homeroom. Aizawa had gone to the teacher's workroom to gather some paperwork for the class. Many of them were chatting about the previous day's combat training. Many of the energetic teens complimented Izuku on his performance. Izuku, mildly blushing, thanked his classmates for their praise. However, he told them that Momo's strategy is what carried the team. If not for that, then they would not have fared as well. Momo stood toward the back of the room. The intelligent girl was touched by the green teen's compliment. As the teens continued their discussion, the bell rang. At that point, the class door slid open forcefully. Standing in the doorway was Aizawa. The man had a menacing glare in his dark eyes. The bell has rang. You should all be in your seats. The intimidating look sent every student rushing for their seat. Aizawa took his place at the lectern. All of the students wondered what they were going to be doing today. Several also wondered, would their teacher threaten to expel them if they failed? The class could tell nothing from the teacher's impassive face. You have a very important job today. All the students sat at the edge of their seats as their teacher spoke in his flat tone. You must pick a class representative. The tension melted from the students' bodies. It was just a normal school activity. The group then became energized at the thought of the opportunity in front of them. I don't care how you decide. Just get it done before I finish my nap. The tall man walked over to the corner of the room, pulled his yellow sleeping bag around himself, and went to sleep on the floor. The teens then started a huge exchange. One person would say they should be the rep, while another would follow with the same words. At a normal school, being the class representative would just be extra work. At UA, it could mean getting a place at a better hero agency after you graduated. It showed that you had the ability to lead other heroes, so naturally, everyone wanted the position. As the process broke into a giant screaming match, Ida stepped forward with a solution. We will never make a decision this way. Let's hold a vote. The brunette waved his hands in a robotic fashion as he spoke.
Is that a good idea? I mean, we just met each other. How do we know who we can trust, Ribbit? She's right. Plus, won't everyone just vote for themselves?
Most people will, but if someone does receive more than one vote, then they must be worthy of leading the class. Izuku had been quiet for most of this, but he decided to speak up now. I think it's a good idea. A boy with spiky red hair named Kirishima spoke up also. Midoriya's right. We won't get anywhere just yelling at one another. All of the students agreed. Each one cast their vote on a piece of paper. The votes were gathered and counted. The results showed that Izuku got 4 votes and Momo got 2. Ida was disappointed because he got no votes. Well, I can't argue with the method I chose. Ida sat at his desk with a look of frustration on his face. Many of his classmates remarked that he didn't vote for himself. Izuku stood at the front of the room, Momo standing by his side. The confused youth was wondering how he got 4 votes. Bakugo was very upset with the results. He raised from his desk with an angry expression on his face. All right, who voted for him?
You didn't think anyone was going to vote for you.
Bakugo gritted his teeth in frustration. However, he sat back down as Aizawa glared at him. Okay, Midoriya will be the class representative and Yaoyorozu will be the vice representative. Just then, the lunch bell rang. The students all filed out in an orderly fashion so as not to upset their teacher further. Izuku sat in a crowded cafeteria. At the table with him was Melissa, Ida, and Uraraka. I can't believe I won the vote. It is not hard to believe. After how you handled yourself in the combat exercise, it showed you can remain cool under fire. That is why I voted for you. Melissa and Uraraka gave each other a knowing look. They decided it would be best if they kept who they voted for to themselves.
I thought you wanted the job, Ida. I mean, you look like a class rep with the glasses.
Uraraka, you shouldn't be choosing someone based on their eyewear. The perky girl got an embarrassed look on her face. Suddenly, an alarm sounded. Everyone in the cafeteria started to panic.
What's going on? I don't know, but this is really scary.
Izuku grabbed a student as he rushed by. What does that alarm mean? It is a stage 3 alert. One of those has not gone off in the 3 years I've been here. I don't know about you, but I am getting out of here. The green teen released the frightened student and he ran off.
What should we do? Should we evacuate like everyone else?
Izuku got a weird feeling. He ran over to a nearby window and peered out. What he saw confirmed his theory. Take a look at this, guys! His friends gathered around the window to take a look. What? It is the press from earlier. That is the emergency? Ida waved his hands around in a wild robotic fashion.
Yeah, I'm glad it isn't something more serious. Looks like the teachers are handling it.
It may not be an attack, but the rest of the student body does not know that.
What do you mean, Deku?
Follow me. The determined boy led his classmates to a nearby set of double doors. He threw open the doors and revealed a hallway jam-packed with students. Uraraka spoke in a highly concerned tone.
Oh no! Guys, they're all panicking. If this keeps up, they'll hurt each other.
I have a plan.
Really, Deku?
Izuku nodded. He activated his power and transformed into rubber. He jumped up and bounced across the students' shoulders to the other end of the hallway. The rebounding boy came to rest on a water pipe above the exit door. The teen steadied himself on his precarious perch. He took a deep breath and spoke in a loud, authoritative voice. Settle down, everyone! There is no emergency. The press from outside managed to get past the front gate. The teachers are dealing with it right now. Let's all stay calm and show everyone what UA students are made of. With those powerful words, the cramped students all calmed down and stopped shoving each other. They then made their way out of the hallway in an orderly fashion.
Deku, that was amazing. You took charge and saved everyone like a true leader. Looks like your doubts about being a good class representative were all unfounded.
They are right, Midoriya. Our class is in good hands. Back in the class, the viridescent teen stood once more in front of his classmates. Momo once again stood to his side. Ida, Uraraka, and Melissa all gave their friend a thumbs up. Everyone, I just wanted to thank you for this opportunity. I still have a lot to learn as a hero and a leader. However, I will do my best to lead our class to the best of my ability. The students all exchanged looks with one another. They all then smiled in turn. Kaminari was the first to speak. So humble. Midoriya will definitely be a good class rep. Did you all see how cool he looked on that pipe?
Yeah, he looked like a real hero. And that pose looked like something from an old comic book.
Mina Ashida was practically bouncing in her seat as she spoke. The rest of the class chimed in with their approval. Bakugo was the only one who remained silent. He just stared at the wall and huffed in annoyance. Izuku, meanwhile, noticed his vice rep's face. She looked like she had something on her mind. After a while, Aizawa called the class to an end. All of the students packed up to leave. Melissa, Uraraka, and Ida all came over to Midoriya.
Hey, Deku, do you want to walk to the train with us?
Izuku saw Momo out of the corner of his eye. She was just leaving the room. He felt that he should say something to her. It was part of his responsibilities to make sure his classmates were doing okay. The empathic youth turned back to his friends. That would be awesome, guys. Can you give me a moment? The group nodded and told him that they would wait for him by the front door. Deku then went to catch up with Momo. He found her in the hallway. Yo, Yurozu! The tall girl turned at the sound of her representative's approaching voice. Yes, Midoriya? I wanted to ask if you were okay. I am. What makes you think I am not? Well, you just had a disappointed look on your face at the end of class. It is true. I really wanted to be the head representative. I guess I'm not as good at hiding my emotions as I thought. Well, don't be too down, okay? I'm going to need all the help I can get. You will do fine, but of course I will support you. Thanks. The uneasy teen turned to leave. He then turned back one last time. See you tomorrow. See you tomorrow, Midoriya. I look forward to working with you. The intelligent girl then turned to leave. Izuku was not sure, but he thought he saw her blushing as she turned. It must have been his imagination. Why would a girl like Yaoyorozu be blushing talking to him? The confused youth ran to catch up with Melissa and the others. The group then made their way to the train. All of them wondered what new challenges awaited them the next day. Meanwhile, at the main gate of UA, Principal Nezu and the other teachers were gathered around a section of the UA barrier. The massive piece of metal was now a pile of rust. So, this is how the reporters got in. Looks that way, sir. This must have been the work of someone's quirk. The real question is, was this a prank or an attack? I get the feeling it wasn't a prank. You're probably right. I get this is but a first strike. We will need to overhaul the security system. Yes, sir. Elsewhere, All Might was having a video chat with David Shield. One of the side benefits to making Melissa his successor is that he got to keep in regular contact with his old friend. For a long time, he would only get to talk with the genius inventor if he needed a costume repair. He felt a little guilty about that. It had been a big relief on All Might to tell his friend about his secret. The man had taken it much better than he thought. He had been more curious than shocked. He wanted to know everything he could about how the transference process worked. The man was a scientist before anything else. So, Toshi, Melissa told me all about how her training is going, but I wanted to hear it from you. She is doing very well. I'm glad to see I was correct in choosing her as my successor. She has the same light as you. Melissa will burn even brighter than those that came before. Of course, you understand the danger. We talked about this before, Toshi. I am scared for my daughter, but it was her decision. I couldn't have stopped her even if I wanted to. The best thing is for us to support and guide her as best we can, so she can become the greatest hero the world has ever seen. Agreed! Now, can you tell me about this Midoriya kid? He is all she talks about. Should I be worried? All Might laughed at this. David was a father, after all. It was his job to worry about such things. There is no need to worry, my friend. Young Midoriya is a good kid. His main focus is on becoming a hero. I doubt he has even considered anything like that. Okay. Good. I noticed he had a support item. It looked like one of yours. Well, Melissa was telling me about her new friend, and she had an idea for a support item to help him. I was intrigued. If you were worried about him, you could have said no. I'm a quirk scientist first. It's my job to develop new items and costumes to assist heroes in their work. He paused for a moment as All Might gave him a knowing look. And she gave me the puppy dog eyes. You know I can't say no to the eyes. I do know what you mean. The two men shared a laugh over this fact. Anyway, my friend, Melissa is getting better at controlling her power, but you should probably have a few more sets of gauntlets and boots ready, just in case. I will get started on that. David paused for a moment. He considered whether or not to say the words in his mind. He decided he should. Toshi, take care of my little girl. All Might smiled at his intelligent friend. She is not so little anymore, David. But don't worry. I will teach her everything that I know. She also has strong friends to support, like young Midoriya. So place your mind at ease. Easier said than done, I'm afraid. As it turned out, David had the right to be concerned. His daughter and the students of 1A would soon come face to face with the evil that festered in the dark corners of their world. None of them would be the same after this. Thank you all for indulging yourselves in all this information thus far. I hope you enjoyed it. Now, there are a few more things that I'd like to go over before the video ends. If you're in the mood for some great storytelling, We the Celestials has you covered. Our We the Celestials, My Hero Academia, and Naruto What If channels retell the story of their namesake anime with a twist. Check it out if you're interested. Now, on behalf of We the Celestials, I'd like to thank everyone involved in today's excellent content production. Their details can be found in the description below. Lastly, if you're interested in what we do here at We the Celestials, I'd like to extend an invitation to join the team. The only caveat is that we only accept members from 16 years old to join our crew. You can sign up for whichever category fulfills your interests by joining the recruitment Discord using the link in the description below. We're always looking for members to join us. Well, that's it from us for today's video, so thank you all for watching and have a great day!